Make sure all the buttons are correct. Yeah,
Lights on.
we're good. Lights on,
Camera
dude.
action.
Hello, Rick.
What's up, buddy?
Thanks for coming on,
I haven't
bud.
seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been like a week.
How the motorcycles working out?
Like the best Chinese motorcycles we've ever
Dude, I
purchased.
should have brought those helmets in. Fuck me. I should have brought. I'll get them to you. I saw the white one in the garage the other day.
Yeah, Max has already dumped it twice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And the neighbor kid runs the piss out of his.
Yeah, no shit. And what was that kid's last name? Or excuse me, you don't have to say his last name. Like,
Sam.
what's the relationship there? Is it a neighbor?
Neighbor down the road, yeah.
Good kid.
Yeah, he was super pumped.
Yeah, that's got to be a big day. I was happy we got that done. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool watching him and
Wheeling and dealing.
Wheeling and dealing.
on dirt bikes.
Did he say anything afterwards?
Not really.
Yeah.
Other than I gotta get a battery. This thing doesn't run. And they found another battery and they were jump starting it. We got it running.
Oh, yeah.
You could jump it off of and get it to ride till we got a battery ordered.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I forgot to plug my screen in here. Gotta make sure I can see what we're doing.
Yeah.
Ding. Well, introduce yourself to the audience. What are we
boy.
What are we talking about today?
Jeez, you invited me. I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
This is on you. This is your bag, not mine.
Recently retired.
May 1st of 2024.
How many years of service?
26 years and 2 weeks of active and reserve time.
Where did it go?
I have no idea.
Right?
Yeah.
26 years,
26
dude.
years. That's more than I ever anticipated. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, why the Navy?
Here's a funny story, I guess, because I wanted to farm.
Really?
How do you think joining the Navy so you can farm? That doesn't make much sense. But I almost joined the Army because my older brother did. And when I was in high school in physics class, the Navy recruiters came and gave some bullshit speech on buoyancy and water dynamics and whatever. And they said, hey, as long as we're here, we're going to give you guys the nuclear qualification test. I'm like, all right. It was just everyone took it in the class.
No shit, that happened in high school.
Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't in physics class, that's why I didn't know.
Yeah, look at the big brain on me.
Yeah.
Right?
I was in I wasn't in physics.
Yeah, well, okay, so the recruiters give us all the tests. I passed, and they're like, hey, man, what are your plans after high school? You know, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, you should go into the nuclear Navy, see the world. And I was thinking, like, you know what, there's a nuke plant not too far from here. But if I learned how to do that, I could probably come back here and work there and still be able to work on the farm.
Really? So you had a plan from the beginning?
Yeah, so sorry, Army recruiter, because I was real close to signing the line to join the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept calling like, hey, sorry, pal, I just signed up for Uncle Sam's Canoe Club.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Did your brother give you any shit?
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, right. I was thinking about that last night, because I was thinking about the show today, and I was like, I wonder why he went to the Navy because Man was in the Army as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy that you had a plan, or as much of a plan as you could have.
Much forward vision? Who knows?
It just worked out.
Yeah, it was just kind of one of those deals.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, where was the first? Because I remember we were loosely talking. I think I was in like the Seattle area on a deployment, and you were like, when did you go in right after high school?
Yeah, it would have been. Well, you left in what, June?
Yeah.
And I left in July.
Okay.
So yeah, into Great Lakes Seabee School.
Yep. How was that?
Gay.
Yeah.
Put your name on your underwear and fold them.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna yell at you. Shine your boots. Make your bed.
And so, what was your first? Because you went enlisted first, right?
Yes,
Yeah, you went enlisted.
I was enlisted for just shy of 12 years.
Okay. Yeah, and then school online, or did you take a break and go to school?
Nope. When I got off active duty, in June of 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my first reserve drill weekend in July. So straight out of active duty right to the reserves.
Okay.
While I was going to school.
Where was your first enlisted duty station?
So the nuke pipeline, for those that don't know.
Yeah, which
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, take
okay,
me
so
all the way through
You
it.
go to your boot camp, and then you go to your initial rating school, or I don't know what you call it in the Marine Corps, whatever your initial MOS.
MOS school, yeah. Military Occupational Specialty.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the Navy, they call it a rating.
Okay, yep.
So my rating was machinist mate, which is basically a mechanic. So I went through basic machinist mate A school, they call it. And then once you pass that, you go into nuclear power school, which is where they teach you how a reactor works and how the systems all tie together. And it's all classroom. It's nothing hands-on. That's 6 months worth. And that was in Charleston, South Carolina.
Did you find, was the curriculum challenging? Did you think?
I mean,
it's not, like, not maybe not.
I was a whiz at high school physics, so I mean, it was no big deal to me. I mean, it was hard. I mean, it's pretty good attrition rate. I mean, I think, don't quote me on any of these numbers, but I think we started with like 400 or something in our class, 450. I think 200 and some of us actually graduated.
That's huge, dude.
It was a pretty good attrition rate.
Yeah.
I mean,
just academically, or people like, I don't want to do this, or
most of it was academic. I mean, but then there's all, get busted for underage drinking, denuked. Get arrested, denuked. If you can't get a security clearance, denuked. So then you become known as nuke waste, and off to the fleet to chip paint you go.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So there's some motivation to not fail.
Holy smokes, dude.
Then you're at the needs of the Navy. Like, oh, you didn't pass what you were supposed to pass, so now we can decide what we're going to do with you. It's like, I don't think I want them to be running the ship here. I think I better buckle down and pass this crap.
That's funny that you said, because in the Marine Corps, believe it or not, like, we had something similar where if you went into security forces, that kind of like security forces umbrella, which was like Fast Company or Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Teams or Fake Ass SEAL Teams, or they had like the 8th and I program, which is the guys up at like Camp David and the White House. And then they also had the nuke program where the Marines were like, Kings Bay, Georgia, whatever.
Guard the nukes.
Right, guard the nukes. And man, if you were any way, shape, or form even remotely a liberty risk, they would not send you anywhere near the nuke program because they didn't, you know what I mean?
How the heck did you get in there?
Well, I didn't go to the nuke program. I went to Fast Company.
So you're kind of a degenerate.
Yeah, I was like, good, because I don't want to go to the nuke. I didn't want to do that duty.
I'm sure it's boring.
Yeah.
You stand there and look at a nuke like, oh, that's fun.
Oh, man. Yeah, because we did a little bit of it on one of the deployments, and not awesome, but obviously not in the same capacity as you, making them run, right? So that's 6 months, and then where's
then you go to another 6 months of actually operating a nuke plant, turning valves, flipping switches, doing the Homer Simpson thing, if that's your bag.
No shit.
That was up in upstate New York, a town called Ballston Spa. It was a DOE facility where they trained. There were civilians there too, but they trained all the Navy guys.
And was it mock or was it real?
Real.
No kidding.
You'd start up, one crew would start it up, the next crew would shut it down.
No, that's amazing.
So they would start. I mean, they didn't do anything with the power. They spun a water break just to run the shaft, but they didn't. They didn't put the power out to the grid or anything. It was all just for training. And they would do some research and development type stuff there too. But
so how long does that? And obviously, don't say anything that you can't say, right? Like, how long does that process take? Like, for someone who's never done it, and I'm hearing it for the first time, like you show up and step one is X.
And for what are you getting at?
For like that first day of training, as far as turning it on for realsies.
So you're there. Obviously, you're a non-qual, right? So there's a qualified instructor that is with you. So if you're either in the control room or you're out in the plant walking around, they show you, like, here, when we start up, you open these valves, you turn these switches. It's all procedurized. Here's the list. Go down the list. Don't fuck up.
Please don't fuck it up. Yeah, try not to fuck this up.
Try not to fuck this up. Yeah. And I mean, it happens, but
well, that's why the trainer's right over your shoulder. I'm sure.
So whoa, don't do that.
Well, this might be a novice question, but that's what we're here for. Like, is there a mistake you could make that would be cataclysmic, or is it all like?
No, there's a lot of safeguards in there, so you can't like melt one down. I mean, you'd have to try pretty dang hard to do it. There's enough safety features, but you can trip it off and you can mess up. And we had a guy, he was lining up actually to move lube oil from a turbine, and he left the one valve open on the other side, and he sucked out a couple 100 gallons of oil out of a spinning turbine. You know, it's spinning at 6,000 RPM, whatever they spun at. And it got down to like 100 gallons of oil in this thing before someone caught it. And they're like, "Ooh, we could have roached this thing."
Oh,
you know, millions of dollars of equipment that you could have just nuked.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So stuff like that happens. And
what is the repercussions? What happened to that guy?
Counseling, I believe, is the term.
He had a significant personal event that day.
Yeah, yes, I believe that was probably put in his like, okay, listen here, pal. You obviously did not follow the procedure where it said, shut this valve, open this valve. So.
Oh man.
So I mean, it's, you know, you're looking at a whole bunch of valves. You know, it's like, oh well, this one, okay, I think that's the right one. I mean, there's always the peer checks and makes you know what you're doing. But
probably 2 or 3, right? You know what I mean? Like everyone's checking everybody.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it's different once you get qualified. But when you know the instructor's right over your shoulder watching you, he's got the book too, and he's like,
well, how long?
Making sure you learn.
Like, how long was it before you were like the training wheels were off, as far as that's concerned?
Well, I mean, it's a 6-month school, and it's the hands-on part, and it's a lot of it's self-paced. So you know, you have a qual book like anything else. You know, go around and get signatures. Like, how does this system work? How does this system work? Spew out your knowledge. If the guy thinks you know what you're talking about, he signs it off. So the more motivated you were to get that done, and you get enough time stand and watch, you know, and you have to do certain evolutions. You know, you have to start this turbine. You have to start this pump. You have to shut this thing down. You have to start making water. Do whatever. And so the faster you got that done, you would be qualified. So when I qualified, and I qualified fairly early, they would let you. I mean, if nothing was going on, they would let you stand watch by yourself because you were qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it probably took me 4.5, 5 months.
Okay.
Probably, and then you're there for 6 months till the rest of your class graduates.
Yes, don't be the last guy.
Right. Yeah. You're that guy.
Like, come on, bro.
Like, come on, figure this out. Let's go.
So that's 6 months up in New York, and then what's next after that? Like, you get fully qualified, you graduate.
So I got fully qualified and graduated, and they actually asked me to stay as a staff member, which required you to re-enlist for 2 years, which I was not on board with. I'm like, nah. And they said, well, you want to stay for some additional training for chemistry and radiation protection. They call it an ELT in the nuke world, a engineering laboratory technician.
Okay.
A lot of times they'd call you a SMAG, sometimes mechanic, always gay. So I was a SMAG. For all you nukes out there, you'll appreciate that.
That's awesome.
And for all the rest of the nukes, I was on ELT Team 6.
Yeah, right. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, so that was another 3 months, and that was doing. You would do all the water chemistry, chemical additions. You know, analyze water samples, reactor water, steam plant water, fresh water. You know, you do, and then you do all the radiation surveys and monitoring and that sort of stuff. It was just an extra, and that was actually pretty fun because you were technically qualified and you were just going through some additional school, so you got treated a lot better than just a dumb nub. Well,
was that like a fork in the road type moment, or was that?
No, it was more just an opportunity that came up. You know, I didn't know anything about it when I, you know, there's like, hey, you're gonna go be a mechanic. I'm like, all right, sounds good. Learn how to operate a nuke plant. Okay.
But you didn't take it. You said you didn't re-enlist.
No, because they asked me if I wanted to stay to be a staff member, and it was a 2-year tour. So basically, you just rolled right into being an instructor.
Okay.
They called them SPOOs, a staff pickup.
Okay.
My desire to be a SPOO was low. Plus, I didn't want to re-enlist.
And so what was the option? Like what you know, I'm not going to re-enlist because why?
I wanted to go to college and farm.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I mean, I had no intentions of making it a career.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't going to do 20 years active duty. I knew that.
Yes, that's the guy that just retired after 26.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it goes, right?
So was it hard? Was it difficult? Was there ever a point when you made that transition and you started going to school where you were like, man, maybe I should have stayed?
Absolutely not.
No, really?
No. You ever lived on a submarine?
No, but we're going to talk about it.
Okay, well, that's why.
But you hadn't had any sub time. You just knew that's where it was going.
Yeah, so how I got on the submarines, actually, because now there's only aircraft carriers and submarines that are nuclear powered.
Okay.
There used to be some surface ships. They're all gone. So I think it was in boot camp when you had to decide either, because submarine is all volunteer. They can't force you to be on a submarine.
I believe it.
So they would, I mean, if you go into the nuke program, you're going to an aircraft carrier unless you volunteer to be on a submarine. You know, and I'm a small town kid from Polo, Illinois, right?
Mm-hmm.
Population of what, 2,300?
Give or take.
An aircraft carrier is what, 6,000?
Yeah,
I'm like, that's twice the size of my hometown. I'm like, hell with that. That's way too many damn people.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, ship sucks.
So then I'm like, well, maybe I'll just lock myself in a long black tube full of semen.
Yeah.
Right.
And you did. That sounds
I
great.
did. That sounds great. And there's 120, 130 on a sub, on a fast attack sub.
Did was that a hard decision? Did anybody try and talk you out of it, or were you genuinely intrigued?
Yeah, and it really was. It was that motivation of that many people. I'm like, that's too many people. I'm like, no.
So just simply, this sounds better.
I said, this sounds better. There's less people, and I think, now, was that the right move? I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm glad I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I'm not doing it now. I mean,
yeah, dude, I want to hear all about it, because
that's young man's work.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Well, take me through. Yeah, take us through, like, day one, getting on
the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, I can remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I want to hear all about it.
Well, so after I finished ELT school, and this was in, this would have been in 2000, summer of 2000. Yeah, like May, June of 2000. And then I came back home because we had some leave. But we got our orders when we were in school, you know, of where you were going. You know, everyone got their, like, hey,
here's the next adventure.
Yeah, next adventure. USS Los Angeles, home port, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. I'm like, oh, well, Hawaii shouldn't be too bad. I mean, there's probably worse places to be stationed than Hawaii.
Right.
Right? It's like, well, that should be cool. So drove back home from New York, had a couple days leave, and then drove out to L.A. Actually, I met up with one of my buddies in Omaha because he was from South Dakota. We met up, and this is before cell phones, so we're just winging it.
Yeah, I remember.
Like we're driving across the.
How'd we do it?
We're 20-year-old kids driving across the country, and met up in Omaha. We drove out. We stopped in Vegas, used our IDs that were mostly legitimate, and then drove to L.A. Put our cars on a ship, got on an airplane, and flew to Hawaii. And then, I was stationed at what's now Joint Base Hickam, Pearl Harbor. They combined the Air Force and the Navy bases together. At the time, they were separated by a gate. I think it's all one deal now.
Mm.
And when I got there, my boat was in dry dock, right? So it's sitting there on blocks in a hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember, like, oh, you got to get a badge to get into the shipyard and all this crap, right? So you walk down there, and I'm the new guy. I'm like, oh, I've never seen a submarine before. It's like, that's pretty cool. You're just sitting on blocks in a dry dock basin.
What, so the only time I've ever seen one dry dock was when they were refueling, like the refuel defuel.
Oh yeah, you were
right?
up in Washington when they were.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
But why would they? So that made sense to me. I'm like, okay, they're dry docking this thing so they can work on it. Like, why would they dry? And this is probably, you're probably like, are you an idiot? Oh, but I'm still gonna ask, why would they dry dock it there? Why wouldn't it just be in the water?
Well, a lot of it's just maintenance, hull maintenance. You go valves, fix, change out propellers, swap out anodes, whatever. It's stuff you can't do when it's floating.
So they dry dock them quite often.
They're on a maintenance schedule.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Just for most of it's routine
Mm-hmm.
routine maintenance.
So it was dry docked and you showed up and
and you don't ever want to be on a submarine in dry dock. It's awful.
Well,
You
obviously.
think it'd be good because it wasn't underwater, but not sucks.
So how long would you do that for?
They were already. I think we were in the yards there for another, I don't know, a month after I got there, month and a half. But I remember, like I said, first time I got to the boat, right? So it's sitting down there. You walk across the brow,
Yeah.
Salute the flag.
Yeah.
Walk down there, and guy stand. There's always a guy standing there at the hatch, to make sure you're supposed to be here. You have the right credentials to get on a
Right.
And I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm like, I'm supposed to be here.
I'm new here.
I'm new here. And the guy's like, well, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a nuke. He's like, oh, a fucking nuke. You work in the back. I'm like, okay, so who do I talk to? How do I get there? Down the hole. I mean, granted, a submarine's not very big, but if you've never been in one, like
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you are here, arrows next to the hatches or what, right.
Yeah, so climb down there. I'm like, I guess go to the back and find some other nuke brethren and figure out what I'm supposed to be doing.
I guess you could only make one wrong turn, right?
It's only fore and aft.
Yeah,
you
can't really fuck it up. Yeah. So would you? So like, I'm thinking that's the office for the day, or are you staying on it?
No, so that's one good thing about submarines. You don't have to live when you're in port, you live in the barracks.
Okay.
When you're below an E5.
Okay.
You junior enlisted stay in the barracks. Once you get to a certain rank, you can move out in town.
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty much everywhere.
Because that would be bananas,
yes,
dude.
Yeah. So when you screw up and you get restricted to the boat, not cool.
Holy smoke! Did you ever get that blessing?
I never got that blessing. I knew quite a few fellas who got the 45 days of restriction to the boat and some extra duties.
Brutal.
No, thank you.
Like, and how ridiculous was it? Because I'm imagining, like, can you even stick your head out of the top at that point?
They let you go walk on the pier, but you couldn't leave the pier. Like,
oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
You're just crushing recruiting numbers right now.
Like, here's some retention.
Yeah. Don't fuck up.
Yeah, don't fuck up.
Yeah. So what's a day in dry dock look like?
Well, again, so when you show up there, you're not qualified. You're what's known as a nub, a non-useful body. You're just there, sucking up oxygen.
Just trying to learn.
Yeah, the same thing. They give you a book here. Get qualification checkouts. Learn here. You're gonna stand watch down here. So learn how to start this up. Learn how to shut this down. Learn how to align this. Learn how to run the air compressor. Whatever. Just learn how to do your damn job.
Was there anything like did you feel prepared? Did school prepare you, or were you running uphill?
Well, so they're all different. Like the one you learn on in New York, right? Completely different than the submarine I was on.
I wonder.
I mean, nothing's even close. I mean, the idea is the same, but where things are is different. The designs are different. The equipment's different. So basically, what they're doing is they're teaching you how to learn. They're teaching you how to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what you need to do your job. And then once you get there, you have no idea what you're doing, and you learn to do your job.
How long was it before you felt comfy? Like, I got this down pat. I mean, honestly.
Well, I kind of got really thrown into it a little bit, probably a little quicker than I maybe should have. So once we got out of dry dock, we were over on Ford Island, which is an island out in the middle of Pearl Harbor. We were tied up there before we were going out to sea to do laps around the Hawaiian Islands or whatever. And my LPO, leading petty officer, the guys in charge of the reactor laboratory division, which is what RL division, which is where all the chemistry and radiation protection guys worked. There was 5 of us. There was five ELTs on a boat. At the time there was. I don't know what it is now. It might have changed. So we're over on Ford Island, and we're supposed to leave after lunch. Sometimes whenever the tugboats are coming to yank us off the pier and shove us out into the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
And my LPO was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run over across the bridge to get lunch or something. I'll be back, or get some supplies, or go to the exchange or something." So anyway, so we were all down there. We're doing our thing. We get everything started up, ready to go. They pull the boat away. We're gone, and like, where's old boy at?
No way.
Gone.
Holy shit.
Gone.
And he was the LPO?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Just boogied. And like, okay. And so, we were kind of short-handed at that point, because then there was only 4 of us. And I wasn't even qualified as what they called the underway ELT, the guy that did all the daily stuff. And they're kind of like, you better get qualified like now, like real soon.
Jesus Christ. Well, where did he go? Like, never to be seen? Like,
no, they found him when we got back, and they I don't know if they arrested him or if he might have turned himself in. And then you get the thing for missing ships movement and all that.
I guess that's what, like, was it like, oh shit, I got caught in traffic, or hey, I'm not going.
Yeah, I think no, I'm not going.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just you got your last click out of
Yep,
LPO,
yep,
whatever his
yep,
last name
Yep, he
is.
said, I don't think so. And so we pulled back in after, I can't remember how long we were out, a week, 10 days or something. We pulled back in, and they had either caught him or he'd turned himself in. And then we were back on Ford Island, and so they brought him out there, put him in the captain's mast. For those who don't know, is when you get to talk to the commanding officer for some non-judicial punishment.
Yeah, and again, once again, a significant personal event is what we did.
A significant personal event, right? Yeah. So they put the green tablecloth on the table, and the captain's sitting there, and they basically bust him for missing ship's movement and going AWOL and all these things. So of course, then they're going to put him on. I think we were going back out, so they were going to put him on base restriction, or whatever he got. So they said, hey, drive back over to base. And they weren't going to put him in the brig, but they were, wherever they put the degenerates, the guys who screw up. Like, here, you can go sweep the sun off the sidewalks all day long, So he takes off, and then they just let him drive back. They said, drive back over to base and check in with the whoever's over there. Gone.
This one's a runner.
Yep. Gone. And this is actually kind of a sad deal because, and it was, a couple weeks later, the police got him up on the beach somewhere. He was out there and he fucking blew his head off.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what was going on. I only known the dude a couple months. He seemed like a nice enough guy.
Yeah, you never know, right?
You never know. But yeah, he was up there on the beach in the North Shore and just, nope.
I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, because I don't want to paint. I think the, submariner lifestyle is beyond intriguing, right?
It's not that cool.
Because I've never done it, right? I would think that there's probably a fair amount of just the fact that you're under for so long and no sun and no, like, I bet you the depression. Was there a lot of guys that boogied? Did you have a high UA rate?
Not really. There's a couple stories on that. Yes, there was some.
Yeah, I would imagine.
There were. I don't know, like when you first go underwater, you're like, oh man, we're underwater. Like, then you're like, oh, now what? Well, you just do your job. And then when you go under, it's just like the first couple days really suck. Everything in the middle just runs together, and the last couple days really suck.
Yeah, because you just can't wait to get over it. Right.
Get me off this tub.
Well, and take me through, right? So you got put into that position, obviously, ahead of schedule. But what is Reveille is at 0 what?
Okay, so on a submarine, they might have changed this now because there was sleep studies and all this crap done. But at the time, you worked on an 18-hour day, so there was 3 watch sections, they call them, right? So you had 6 hours of on watch, meaning you're the one turning valves, flipping switches, operating, pushing submarine in that direction.
Okay.
Then you get off watch. You have 6 hours of where you're supposed to work on your qualifications. You're supposed to do maintenance, your training, and then you're supposed to get 6 hours of sleep, and then you start over. So 6 on, 6 off, 6 asleep. In the ideal world, usually it's 6 on, 6 off, 6 hours of running fire drills and flooding drills, and then 6 hours back on, off. So your sleep schedule was always fucked. And
I bet you with the, once again, no sun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You had no idea. You didn't know what day it was. You know what time it was because they're having eggs. It must be 6 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Oh, we're having tacos. It must be Thursday at noon.
Really? Yeah. I bet you that was.
Yeah, it was. You knew what time it was based off what they were serving for.
Holy shit! Well, and how often would let's say you're underway, and once again, don't say anything that you can't. You're underway for 6 months, right? It's a 6 months. You're underway. You're actually. How many times would you come to the surface in a 6 month period?
It really depended on what you were doing. I think the longest I was under March to June. I think we went under in South Korea and we came up in Australia.
So
and went everywhere in between those 2 places.
So and there's no weekends. It's just like you. No. It's just
no.
Well,
same thing. 6 on, 6 off, 6 asleep.
Is there TV? Is there internet?
Yeah, internet service is great when you're 600 feet underwater.
I bet.
No internet.
Holy fuck, man.
Yeah, and this was even before, like iPods were just coming out.
Right.
This is in the early 2000s, right? So you didn't have MP3 player. You couldn't watch movies on your phone.
It's CDs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, CD.
That was if you were going to splurge, you bought one of those little mini DVD players and you could play in your bunk.
Yeah, holy shit, dude.
Otherwise, usually on the evening watch, there's a TV in the with crew's mess where you ate, and you'd watch. Not that you ever had any time to watch damn movies, but because you did it. Well, one, if you weren't qualified, all your watches, you weren't allowed to.
Right.
Because you can't be dicking off. You need to finish your books, and so once you got qualified and there was nothing going on, then you could watch movies. But
it makes sense. It makes sense, and obviously everything is routine, and you're normal, right?
But it sucks.
It sounds awful.
It sucks.
Well, it's why there's such.
Because so you'd work 6 to noon, you'd be off from noon to 6, you'd sleep from 6 to midnight, you'd be on watch again midnight to 6.
Yeah.
You're off at 6 in the morning. You work till noon. You go to sleep till 6.
Repeat. Yeah. Just
you get up at 6. You get up at 6 in the evening. You're on watch till midnight.
And how long? Like when you would get off, and I know I'm skipping ahead. We'll keep going, but like when you would get off, how long did it take you to kind of like recalibrate?
Well, you're always so damn tired. It didn't matter, because oxygen levels are low. I mean, you could sleep. I mean, you could drink half a gallon of coffee and.
I bet.
Sleeping was not an issue.
No kidding.
No, yeah, you'd fall asleep. Yeah. Well, always tell you sleep fast.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you kind of. It's almost a learned skill, right?
Fast.
You could just fall asleep standing up if you needed to.
I'm gonna prop myself in the corner and wait for the.
Was there? What would they do? What would they do? And maybe you had an experience with this. Maybe not. I'm sure you heard of it. Like you're underway, you're underwater, and somebody loses their shit. You know what I mean? Or what is like? Is there a brig? Is there? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do if all of a sudden somebody's a fucking problem?
I never really experienced that too much. And one thing about submarines is I mean, in any branch of the military, I mean, you kind of weed out the turds. The guys that like can't handle it.
Yeah.
And not that it's the right thing. I mean, but you find, you push their buttons.
Oh, sure. Kind of help them along.
Yeah. It's like and if obviously you know more about these people than your family. I mean,
yeah.
You're locked in a tube with them for months, right? I mean, what do you talk about?
And what happens if the guy sucks? What happens if you suck?
You'll be informed.
Yeah, I bet. Holy shit.
You will be informed.
You guys are renowned for it's a tight clique.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, you have to be. I mean, if you have one shithead, I mean, everyone knows. I mean, we had guys like that. It's like
first name basis, no rank, just everybody's tight.
You're wearing a pair of coveralls and tennis shoes. You can grow beards and stuff. And once they close the hatch, all rules are off.
Was there a distinct difference between underway and then would we get back to kind of normal military procedures when you got off?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Now we're in public. We got to act the part again, boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To some extent.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you were super close with, the officers and the guys you worked with. I mean, it was. No, you weren't like on a first name basis with the officers. It was always sir or
sure
lieutenant or whatever, or their last name. But they were all. I mean, most of the officers I had were all cool.
And how long? Like how many trips? How many float? I would call it a float. I don't know if you would call it a float. Like how many deployments every time it's underway?
Well, I mean, like I said, it really depended on what was going on. I mean, we did so out of Hawaii. We'd always go west to the Western Pacific, and then from there, you'd get missions to do whatever whatever's going on. So I did two 6-monthers, and then we did a couple of shorter ones. We went up to Alaska once and did some sound trials. They string the submarine up on sink it and listen to things.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. That's no shit. That's awesome. Yeah, I was just about to ask like what. So when I think of a submarine, all I think about is collection, or I think about like the old torpedoes and all that type of shit.
I mean, that's all part of the mission. I mean, it depends on what kind of boat you're on. I mean, the ballistic missile submarines, they shoot big nukes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fast attack submarines, they shoot tomahawks and torpedoes. And they can lay mines and other stuff too. I mean, but yeah, I mean,
drop off swimmers, all that good stuff. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. It's so interesting. I can remember being in Washington, and we were, I think it was 2 months, maybe it was 3, and like I said, they were refuel, defuel.
Yeah, you're right. Or
and
most of those were decommissioned, probably up there.
I mean, I was 20. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean?
There's a submarine, great.
Yeah, I was like, don't let anybody fuck with a submarine. Roger that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Can do.
I'll stand right here.
But I remember like being so intrigued, like I wanted to go on it so bad, and there was a group of guys that actually got to go kind of walk around on it. I wasn't one of them, but yeah, it's, as long as we've known each other, it's always been very intriguing to me. Just the nuances, like it's a total anomaly to me. There's a movie playing in my head, obviously, but like I can remember when you said like the chow was in the floor.
Oh yeah, when you load out for a 6-month deal, I mean, you'd have bags of coffee hanging from all the pipes and cans of food on the floor and
kind of track the deployment. Like we're about halfway through.
Oh, yeah, the one we were on when we were pretty much out of everything. It's like we're down to like roast beef and dehydrated potatoes. We ran out of hot sauce, ran out of ketchup. I'm like, holy balls, this sucks.
And how does that happen, right? You know what I mean?
Like, a submarine can stay under indefinitely. The only thing that makes it come up is you run out of food, or something breaks.
Okay.
Food.
But like you said,
you make your own water, you make your own air.
Yeah.
It's nuclear powered. You don't need to refuel. You don't need to charge your batteries. You just go.
You just in my brain, it's like obviously it's not the first time that thing's gone underwater. Any of them, it's like you would think having the proper amount of food.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and sometimes things change. Like okay, well we're supposed to be in X port at X time. Well, that changed. Now we're gonna go here at this time.
Right.
Oh, well, that's an extra 10 days or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But that only happened like once when it was like, man, we were getting down to the scraps here. Like we should probably pull in and find some food.
People are getting cranky. You can't DoorDash anything.
I can't eat dehydrated potatoes anymore.
Oh man. Yeah. People get cranky real quick, and probably an already somewhat tense situation,
They ran out of napkins, which you wouldn't think would be a big deal. It's like whatever, it's like so you get wipe on your pants, whatever.
God damn it. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny what in any branch of the service, like what you just let slide.
Yeah, you don't and it's nothing. It's like, oh, whatever.
I mean, cool, because you can't do anything about it, right?
And you probably don't know any better.
Yeah, like, oh, this is just normal.
Yeah.
Like, we're out of napkins.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
At least you didn't run out of shit paper.
No. No more Texas Pete.
Holy shit, man. So how many trips did you do total?
Two long deployments.
Okay.
I was on the boat for 4 years. Because so a nuke enlistment is 6. 2 years of school, 4 years of actually being a nuke.
Okay.
So when I initially signed up, I signed for 6.
And give me some examples. So you were in charge of the valves, the gadgets, the everything, right? And then give me some other examples other than the ship captain, captain on the boat, you know what I mean? Like other than Crimson Tide, I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like what's another job? You got like the sonar techs.
The guys that listen sonar, torpedo men, radio men, navigation guys, cooks, supply guys.
And does the torpedo guy just sit around and wait to be told to shoot one?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
They're still there.
Yep.
Count them again.
Yeah, count them again. Well, and I got to sleep with them for a while too, because when you have, I don't know if you ever heard the term hot racking.
Yeah, hot racking.
Right?
Yeah,
you have more people than you have bunks.
Sure.
So either you hot racked or you slept in the torpedo room.
Really?
And usually the new guys get the love shack in the torpedo room because they just put some bunks down on the bottom. And I spent a couple months sleeping with a Tomahawk cruise missile.
There you go. Why not? Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool.
Because you write your name on it when it gets shot.
That's badass. Holy shit. Did you ever have any team guys on the boat?
Yeah.
Ever have any SEALs?
Yeah, so we had the SEAL delivery vehicle,
SDV.
And we had the DDS, which was the dry deck shelter, which is basically the garage door for the mini sub to go into. And we did a couple we did a couple ops with those guys. And the boat has to get certified to do it because we hadn't had it on in a while. And it kind of actually sucks because when the SEAL teams are on, there's another 30 guys, you know.
Oh yeah.
Handful of guys, plus all the divers and all the support crew that come with them. So you already got a boat that's full, and then you slam on another 30 people. It's like
there's always room for one more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
not in this.
No,
not in this case.
Actually, not enough room for those more. But
well, because at what point did you? Because you were a Navy diver. At what point?
Don't call me a Navy diver, because the real Navy divers will give me shit, because I went to boat school scuba diver.
Oh, well, tell me the difference.
So I was never hard hat.
Okay.
So on a sub, I think there's supposed to be 3 qualified divers, meaning just in case, you know, I mean, most of my job was cutting off fishing line and, you know, scrubbing the speed sensors and stuff. It wasn't anything cool. I mean, we'd catch fishing nets all the time.
Really?
So, yeah, our shit would get wrapped around the propeller. Well, actually the first time I got to dive, we shot a training torpedo off the coast of Hawaii, just, you know, to prove you could do it. And they're wire guided, and the wire got stuck in the torpedo hatch. And they're like, "Oh shit, we can't close. I mean, the back was closed. I mean, obviously, water wasn't pouring in the boat.
Right? Yeah,
but
that's a problem.
That had been an issue. But the front shutter was open, and they're like, the wire's stuck in there. I'm like, oh. They're like, why don't you just jump over the side and cut that thing out of there? I'm like, all right, give me a pair of tin snips.
And out you went.
Strap my tanks on. We surfaced. I jump off the side, you know, and we're in Hawaii, so the water's perfectly clear. You can see, you know, I mean, I'm looking at the boat, and the thing's huge.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what? This probably isn't a good place to be. I'm staring down the barrel of a torpedo tube. Luckily, there was no torpedo in it, but you know,
pretty surreal.
Yeah, I mean, you're staring at the front of a submarine. It's like, holy shit! I don't think I need to be here. Like, if this thing decides it wants to run me over, it could pretty easily.
Holy shit! Yeah.
So swim down there, stick my head in the tube, cut the wire out. Go back up. I'm like, all right, we're good.
At what point in just for the timeline, sake of the timeline, you've got how many, like, at what point was that something they came to you and said, hey, we need a diver, or was something you sought out?
Both. So when I first got on the boat, this was in 2000. One of the division officers, he was the dive officer. So he had been like, man, that's cool. I want to do that. That sounds fun. I've never dove before. It seems like something I want to do, you know. And of course they're like, "Oh, you're a nuke. Get in the back and do nuke stuff." I'm like, oh, okay. Well, can I go to dive school? No.
They said no initially.
Yep. They said no, because, and I don't know if it's just the unwritten rule, but nukes do nuke stuff. They don't do fun stuff.
Well, so how'd you break the mold?
Well, so to deploy, you have to have 3 qualified divers. And we were down one because some guy transferred or whatever, and they kept. I think I put this in the thing I sent you. So they were sending the non-nukes that wanted to volunteer to go to dive school to get qualified so we could deploy, and they kept failing out of school. You know, and scuba school's only, I think, 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Okay.
It was on Ford Island in Pearl Harbor. So and it's challenging. I mean, it was hard, but so all the coners, as they call them, because they live in the pointy end of the boat.
Okay.
So coners, they send a bunch of coners to dive school, and they all failed out, you know. And I mean, I talked to these guys, you know, and they come back like, oh yeah, you know, I failed to swim, or I couldn't hold my breath, or I couldn't, you know, freak out underwater, or whatever, and they kick them out, or they would just wash out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we're like, you know, I don't know, 3-4 months away from deploying, you know, and I went up and talked to our XO, the executive officer of the submarine. I'm like, hey sir, like, all your dumbass coners are failing out, like, can I go? I'll pass. You know, and he sits me down and he looks at me and he's like, I'm going to send you. If you fail out, I'm going to kill you.
You're right. Yeah. Do not fuck this up.
Dude, don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So 6 weeks and
6 weeks on Pearl Harbor. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was challenging. It was hard.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard of a dive school that was a walk in the park.
No, it was,
right.
It wasn't like, you know, nothing like hard hat school or, you know, SEER school or any of the other stuff. But the best I could do is a nuke.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
So you're in front of I keep saying boat. I want to say.
They'll call them boat.
Yeah.
That's the affectionate term for submarines is boats.
It's boats.
Any submarine guy will call them a boat.
Call it a boat.
Yep, they're boats.
So you're in front of the boat. You're in front of the torpedo tube. You've got a pair of tin snips.
Let's fight the war.
Holy shit, man! So how long did it take you to unfoul it or whatever?
Long. I mean, I just cut the thing off, and it was just wrapped around the thing. It wasn't a big deal.
Were you the only diver qualified on the boat at that time?
No, there was a couple others. I don't know. I know. I got you go. All right.
Okay.
Or I volunteered. I said I'll do it. I'm not. Whatever.
Sure.
It's better than watching the bilge water slosh around.
Yeah. Well, how was that a kind of on like by need basis, or it's just a capability that you have to have, right?
Right. Well, and that's basically I mean, that's why they had divers. So every time you pull into a foreign port, you'd have to dive just to see if anything was broke or missing, or if the hull tiles were falling off, you'd cut them off or fix them or do whatever.
What's the craziest shit you ever had to fix?
It really wasn't nothing exciting. It was mostly just a lot of it was cutting off fishing line. You get, because when you're off places doing things that you weren't never were there.
Right.
I'm sure we pissed off quite a few fishermen, because if you're at periscope depth and their fishing net's down 20, 30 feet,
sure,
you drive right through it.
That's nuts.
Like, whoop, sorry, pal.
Yeah, our bad.
Yeah. Oops.
What do you think? What would you, if somebody came to you and said, I really want to be involved with submarines, what's kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly that you would give them? Would you try and talk them out of it? Would you, because like I said,
No, I don't regret any of it. And like I said, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I'm not doing it now. Just want to, stick the feather in your head. And I mean, the guys that do it for 20 years, God bless them.
Unreal.
Yeah, God bless them. Someone's got to do it.
Right, that's true.
And like my desire to do another 14 years on a boat, nah.
What do you think, right? And so, because obviously everybody is kind of each their own, right? Like,
oh sure.
What do you think makes that's just their normal? That's what they're used to.
Yeah, well, it's like, why does anyone stay in the infantry for 25?
It's a good point.
It's just, that's what I do, and I guess I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. That's very cool. What happens if somebody gets sick? Really sick, like if your appendage burst or something, you know what I mean?
We never had. I mean, there's
appendix. You know what I mean? Like fucking yeah.
I mean, we had a corpsman on board, an independent duty corpsman. So it's like a corpsman that goes through some extra medical stuff. But that's all. You have one doc. Here's your Motrin. Change your socks. Put on some foot powder. That guy.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, they got some extra training to be an independent duty corpsman. So we never had anything serious. We did have a dude. He was coming through one of the hatches and rang his bell.
I was gonna say, bump your fucking head, right?
And detached his retina. So he's like. So they actually surfaced, and I don't know if I can't remember where we were at. Doesn't matter. But I think they sent a boat out and they transferred him off so he could go get his eye put back together.
Holy smokes, dude!
Luckily we were, But if something happened when when you've seen the movies, right? When the guy dies, they just throw him in the freezer.
Pretty much. Is that accurate?
I have no experience with that, but.
Well, yeah. What would you do?
What would you do?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where have we thought about this? I mean, you could. Get cut peeling a potato, and it could be, cataclysmic.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the doc could stitch you up and that sort of thing. But
that's nuts, dude.
But depending on where you're at, that could be an issue.
Yeah, like you said, you could have a fucking aneurysm or something. I mean, anything is possible, right? Sure. Just put him next to the meat. Don't eat that guy.
Yeah. Put him in a bag and throw him in the freezer.
Luckily, you never had to experience any of that. Holy shit. Well, we've deployed, we've floated, we're a diver, and then at some point we transfer over to the Seabees. And is that accurate?
Yeah, no, actually not, because there was you mentioned one of the cool things I got to do was when the SDV guys, the SEAL delivery guys, were on board.
Yeah.
I actually talked. Well, I was just talking to the guys, and I said, "Hey, could I go out? I mean, because when they're in the dry deck shelter, they're just just breathing off regular scuba tanks.
Mm-hmm.
On the thing. I'm like, could I go out in that thing with you? That looks pretty freaking cool. Just say I did it. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, we don't care. Let's go. So of course I did. Actually, I talked to the commanding officer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, Skipper, would it be cool if I went out in that thing with him? He's like, yeah. Like,
yeah.
Sweet. So you climb up, you climb up into the dry deck shelter, you climb up the hatch. It's the hatch behind where the part that sticks up, the sail is.
Yeah.
climb up in there. They shut the hatches down. You're sitting there with a bunch of dudes. Open like a 6-inch valve on the side, and the thing just
fills up with
like,
water.
This is how you die on a submarine.
Yeah.
Just luckily I got some air to breathe.
Yeah, you're like, wait. Hold on a second. I want to check my gear one more time.
Right? And it's like, and the thing fills up. You're sucking on a hose, and the mini sub's sitting in there.
Mm-hmm.
They open the back hatch up, shove this thing out. The boys jump in and drive off. It's like, well, that's pretty wild.
Were you think about the first time you saw the SDV, the SEAL delivery vehicle, which, like you said, they're like miniature submarines. I can remember, and maybe they had different ones. The ones that we had in the Marine Corps, and I was not a diver, but the ones we had in the Marine Corps, the first time I saw it, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
It was not. I did not. It was not impressive.
I mean, it just looks like it kind of looks like a big torpedo.
Yeah.
I mean, you can Google it, look it up if you want to see one.
I mean, I guess, I was thinking it was going to be like Airwolf or Knight Rider, like it was not what I expected to see.
Yeah, but that was pretty wild too, because I mean, I did it a couple times. Actually, I got to do it three times. I never got to go in the SDV itself. That's for the SEALs to drive in. But you got to go out and help them shove it out and whatever. So they, and we're in Hawaii, so the water's super clear. Right? So you're standing there on top of the submarine, right? You're about 30 feet under from the deck to the surface of the water, periscope depth. And you're watching the propeller turning.
Surreal.
It's like, probably shouldn't go near that.
Yeah, steer clear of that.
That might cause some problems.
Yeah.
Man. And they got this thing and it takes off, whatever. And we got to do one night. It was a night deal. And they had to do like emergency procedures, like, okay, the submarine's at periscope depth, right? So the guy's driving, looking through the thing. And, say a surface ship sees you or something, the boat's got to dump, meaning go under. So they'll flash the lights inside there and everyone just bails out.
Really?
And everyone's like, everyone out to the surface.
Holy shit.
So you bail, boat goes down, does its thing, comes back up, and you get in two groups. And you got a mask on or your tanks, or you got tank on.
Mm-hmm.
You had a chem light. You'd bust the chem light, and you get into two piles. There's like 6 or 7, 8 guys, whatever, in each pile. And you string a rope between you. And the guy driving the submarine looks for the 2 piles of chem lights, drives the periscope right between them,
and snags you up.
And snags you. I mean, and you're thinking about this when this is happening, right? Like, there's a 350-foot long submarine right there.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Pulls you back, swim down, climb back in, and they shut the hatch and drain it down. It's like, that's pretty wild.
It is super cool.
Like that's wild.
I never got to lock out, like I said, because I wasn't a diver. I never got to lock out, that's what we called it, is locking out of a sub. But man, watching the videos and seeing the guys.
I mean, I'm sure it's like anything. Like, I'm sure the guys that do it all the time, like, this sucks.
Probably.
It's like, fuck, I gotta do this.
But that first time is cool as fuck.
This is badass.
Yeah, it's super cool. The first time's cool.
And then it's like, okay, let's do something else now.
Isn't that crazy? Like, something that would be so surreal, and then 2 times later you're like, man, fuck. The luster, the shine wears off pretty quick. Yeah. The shine wears off pretty quick.
I'm sure it does.
Well, that's nuts. Well, yeah, like I said, did you continue to dive even afterwards?
Yeah. So how it worked out, I finished my 6-year hitch, right? Like, oh, you should re-enlist. No, I don't think so. But then when I was, you're going through your, I don't know what they call it when you get out, taps, the transition.
Yeah, it's separation. Yeah.
You go,
temp and taps. I can't remember what it stands for.
You're going to be a civilian now. Don't be a loser. Don't drink too much. Don't beat your wife. That sort of thing. And of course, the reserve guys are there and they're like, oh, hey, well, you're getting off active duty. You want to continue your career in the reserves? I'm like, and I was going to college. I mean, I was already accepted to go to school at the time. I knew where I was going and whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't have a job. Right? I'm now going to be a broke college kid. Play a little Navy on the weekends and and whatever, keep her going, sure. So I signed up. You had to, same thing. You have to enlist, whatever.
Yeah.
Do the paperwork. Say, okay, I agreed to 4 years or whatever it was. I'm like, oh, I think I signed up for 4 years in the reserves because I know I'm like, well, I'm going to college and I got nothing else to do. So what the hell? I'll play Navy while I'm going to school. And so I got picked up to go to Deep Submergence Unit, which was in Coronado.
Okay.
Which was submarine rescue. And I think they changed the name now to Undersea Rescue Command or something. But at the time, it was called Deep Submergence Unit. They used to have the deep submersibles, the ones that would go down, and they mini subs that would lock onto submarines and transfer people and stuff. Which, if you've seen Hunt for Red October,
yeah, sure,
that thing,
okay, yeah,
which is now decommissioned. Those are all they're museum pieces now. But those little mini subs, I mean, those were big. They were pretty good size,
right.
But those were, 1 atmosphere subs. So I got picked up, or I got a billet as a diver with Deep Submergence Unit doing some of the first thing I did was I qualified as a submarine rescue chamber operator, which is like it's basically a big diving bell.
Sure, I understand.
But they're at 1 atmosphere, not pressurized. And those you'd send a diver down, either a hard hat diver or a suit diver, and they would like hook a cable onto a submarine that was stuck on the bottom, or if one got bottomed, which has happened before. I think once.
They probably try to keep that quiet.
the Squalus, if you want to look that up, it's actually a pretty cool story, where they actually rescued some dudes off the bottom.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, they would go down, hook onto that thing, and then this diving bell would basically come down. You'd winch it down with an air motor, clamp onto the top of the submarine, equalize pressure, so it was had a suction on the, and then you could transfer people on and off. So I got to do that several times, which was actually pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, did it with there was a submarine from Chile, and I remember this is kind of a funny story. I got bitched at for this one.
I can't wait.
We went down, and it was me and me and another dude were the operators of the chamber. So we go down, lock onto this boat from Chile, and I mean, obviously these dudes are Chilean. They don't really speak a whole lot of English, a little bit, so we can kind of converse with them. Anyway, I took a bottle of Jim Beam with me.
Yeah, everybody speaks, right.
Yeah, everyone speaks Jim Beam.
Yeah, yeah.
So I gave it to the captain, whatever. And I was, kind of, I could converse with him. I was talking to him. He gave me a bottle of wine and like something his wife made, like a necklace thing or something. I gave it to the skipper.
That's badass.
Of the unit, that was kind of neat. But that was right after that. When the Chilean miners got stuck.
Yeah.
It was right after that happened. So I got a picture. Then and the dudes on the boat did this. They wrote the same sign.
Oh, no shit.
That those guys were holding. There's a picture of me standing there with them, and they said, "Oh, we can't publish that. That's bad press." I mean, I didn't do it. The boys on the boat did.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So they're holding the same sign. We're standing there. Oh, we're stuck on the bottom of the submarine. We're so fucked.
That's a story in and to itself, right? Like, ever been stuck on a submarine? Like, no, tell me more.
Yeah. Right. I mean, so that was, and we got to do it a boat from, we went to Singapore. It was Singapore. I think it was, no, maybe it was Japanese. We did just a training mission, they go up, just put their boat on the bottom, and we go down and lock onto them and swap them around. I actually, I told you the one time there's 2 times I really feared for my life doing that. The one time we were off the coast of Coronado, and I think it was a Japanese submarine we were working with, and we went down. I was in the chamber. We went down, locked on. We transferred some people, and we were going back up. And you basically just kind of, it's supposed to be a controlled descent, meaning you just kind of run the.
Yeah, you can't come up or go down too fast, right?
Well, no, you're at atmosphere. You don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about that. You're at 1 atmosphere pressure, so it's not a big deal. But we took a wave. The surface ship took a wave, and it jerked it snapped the line that was holding us to the submarine.
Fuck.
So now you're a cork at 650 feet. I think we were quite a ways down, and like it. I heard it snap, and you got a little digital gauge how deep you are. I'm like, oh hell, we're, and I call up on the radio. I'm like, boys, we're coming up right now. I don't know where, I don't know how fast, but we are going to surface real soon.
Holy shit!
So like, if we hit the bottom of that boat, that could be bad.
Holy fuck!
Right? I'm like, I don't know, boys, brace for impact, because I don't know where this thing. You have no control. You have nothing.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
It's a beach ball.
Yeah. You're just you're a balloon going up. And this thing, like, and you're watching the gauge. I'm like, oh, fuck, if we hit the bottom of that fucking boat, we are going to be. I mean, I don't know. We poke a hole in the bottom of the boat. Does this thing sink back to the bottom?
And do you have your dive equipment?
Nope.
Do you have
Nope.
So fucked.
You're wearing this. You're wearing t-shirt and shorts. I mean, you had we had a helmet on. I'm like, you might want to put your helmets on because this might be an aggressive surfacing. Luckily, we missed. We popped up about 10 yards off the stern of the boat, and it's like, boop.
Close one. Yeah, close one.
Like, yeah, I might need to change my shorts.
Holy shit, dude. That's like, have you seen that movie Last Breath? Have you heard of it? It's a true story, based on true story. Woody Harrelson's in it. It's their hard hat, like deep divers, like go all the way.
Saturation divers.
Yep.
Yeah.
They live in the Bell,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? And almost identical to what you're talking about. Like they're in the north of the Bering Sea.
Working on oil rigs or whatever.
And the massive storm comes through, the ship loses power, so they're drifting, all their line, like one of the guys, basically long and short of it is one of the guys' line snaps and he's on the top of the rig.
And he's screwed.
It was like 35 or 45 minutes without oxygen. And the dive team
like, oh shit.
they're like, we're getting him no matter what. Like, we're getting him. And they recovered him. And it is a fantastic movie. But as soon as you, because I just watched it a couple weeks ago, like, it is a seriously dangerous business.
I knew some guys who did the oil rig stuff.
I mean, anytime you're diving underwater, anything, like, it's dangerous.
Yeah, sure. I guess you don't really think about it at the time,
but it is,
yeah.
Like 100%, it's a dangerous business, man, that's incredible. That's incredible.
And the other good one that, we were doing some training off Catalina Island in California.
I'm familiar.
So we were on it was an ocean going tug. It was a Navy U.S. or Merchant Marine tug, I think. And they put the thing you drop 4 anchors, big ass anchors, and then you can use those to position the boat around because it didn't have like the what do they call them, the jet positioning stuff. So you use these big ass anchors, and then you just winch in on this one to move this way, or let out on this one, and just to basically jockey your boat around. And they put a thing out, said, hey, this is a restricted area, no boats, whatever, because we're doing training operations. Well, this fucking jag in a big yacht comes barreling by.
Jeff Bezos.
Just comes flying by, like not too far away, And the captain of the boat, he's honking the horn, trying to call him on the radio, like, hey, no, they, shooting flares off. This dude comes by, snags one of the anchor lines, right? And this thing's on a capstan, tied off. He snags it with the back of his boat. This thing, it pulls it loose, and this thing starts swinging around. It's got a big eye on the end of it.
Wow.
And we're standing on the back, and this thing starts doing the old fucking helicopter. And I'm like, get the fuck down. And it's going over your head. It's like, holy shit.
Unreal.
Like, that would take your damn head off.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? So we got it put back together. No one got hurt. It was luckily. I mean, that could have been a dinger. But we got a report later that there was a boat sinking at the pier because it ripped the seal out of his prop.
Oh yeah.
Serves you right, dumbass.
Yeah, no shit, right? Little karma there. Yeah.
Oh no, your yacht sank. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Luckily nobody got hurt. Yeah, man, that's incredible, dude. Like I said, I having not been a diver, it's always intrigued me. Like I was always on the surface when the guys were diving and training. I just never got to that school, in my time in the service. But the kind of sniper direction or the sniper path just kind of took me away.
I never got to snipe, so we're even.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I went underwater. You sniped.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, isn't it interesting how like just something as simple as like the bling, like what we would call it, like the bling. If you got something shiny on your,
you got an extra badge of courage.
I'm cool, you're not, or whatever.
That's really a thing.
Yeah,
I mean, big time.
They get you. Yeah. And you said there's rift between the hard hats and the scuba guys.
Oh, big time.
Two different cliques.
We're a bunch of pussies. Which fine. I never had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like I took whatever I could.
Yeah. No shit. And why not? Of course there is.
Sure.
Yeah. Of course there is.
We're better than you. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds fantastic.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So at what point when did the Seabees come into play?
Okay, so
because that's another tight crew.
Yeah. So So I was at deep submergence unit while I was going to college. After I graduated college, I think I was at DSU till 2012.
And you, not to cut you off, but man, going through all of that training within the nuclear program, you had to be fucking halfway. Did a lot of that transfer? I mean, that's a ton of schooling.
Not as much as you'd think. I mean, I took, well, before I got off active duty, I took, remember the CLEP test, the college level examination program?
Yeah, CLEP out of some basic shit.
So I didn't study for any of them. I just went to the base office there and I said, which ones are available? I took every single one. I said, there's one every Tuesday or whatever. I just took every single one. Doesn't matter what it was. I just sign me up for all of them. I'll just take them.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed some. I didn't pass some other ones. I didn't study for them or nothing. Some of those transferred to like some gen ed crap. But so I went to school for engineering. Most of the nuke Navy stuff, an engineering school doesn't really. They're like, yeah, we'll give you some credits, but you still have to take all this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, so I had a shitload of credits, but none of them counted towards finishing. So.
Yeah, no shit. Well, you were always like that in school, dude. And I'm not the first person to tell you this. I mean, you've known you your whole life. Like, I can remember being in school with you, and you were one of those guys, or at least it seemed to me you were one of those guys that
perception is everything.
Can damn near sleep through it and still fucking get an A.
I'm a real fart smeller.
Meanwhile, I'm over here fighting for my life, and it's basic algebra, or whatever. So yeah, you weren't gonna see me in the physics class. It doesn't surprise me that you clept out of a lot of shit. Like, God damn it, Rick. But so yeah, Seabees school.
Yeah, so went to 4 years of school at Northern Illinois. Got my degree, and I was still at DSU at the time, and then my older brother, who was in the Army, he had gotten a commission, and so he was 2 years ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
But we were pretty much the same rank the whole way through. Like every time he got promoted, I would be like 6 months behind him.
Hot on his tail.
Hot on his tail, right? So we both made it to E7. I made chief in 2007, and he made sergeant first class. And then he got his commission, I think, in 11. And I'm like, well, shit, he outranks me now. This isn't going to work.
Can't have that.
This is not going to work.
Yeah.
I better look into this a little closer. So I call a recruiter and like, oh, you're an engineer. You should be in the Civil Engineer Corps. I'm like, what the hell's that? Like, yeah, you build bridges and buildings and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can do that. Like, oh, you're going to be in a Seabee battalion. I'm like, all right, well, we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if anyone listening knows what Seabees are, but it's basically the Army version of the Navy. you play Army or Marine.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
yeah, for sure. Seabees are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got my commission in 2012 as an ensign in the Civil Engineer Corps. And I said that was a bit of an eye-opener going from chief to butter bar, right? Because everyone thinks you're the new guy and, like, you don't know shit and whatever. So you run into a few altercations there. It's like, look, man, like, I've got 12 years and I understand how this works. You don't have to, you don't need to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that helped. And once people kind of realize that, but obviously,
sure,
the new officer always gets shit. Right?
Yeah, it's tradition.
Just gets destroyed.
It's tradition. Yeah, it's tradition.
There's a good CB tradition too. So when you're the newest of the lowest ranking ensign in a battalion in a CB battalion, they give you a giant or a combat boot full of cement with a big log chain on it, and you got to carry the fucker around. Right?
Awesome.
Because you're the boot.
Yeah.
Right. So you carry this fucking boot full of cement, right? Which is fun.
Great.
Right. And then everyone tries to steal it from you.
Sure.
Because all the chiefs, they have to mentor the junior officers and all this. So they try. I'm like, here, take it. You can have the fucking thing. I don't want to carry this bitch around.
Yeah.
And then everyone yells, "Oh, where's your boot?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, Chief stole it."
Yeah.
He'll give it back later.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You weren't letting them have any fun with it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Yeah. Like, you want to carry the boot around?
Knock yourself out.
By all means, you can carry it.
Yeah. Doesn't work on the guys that are somewhat salty.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's only the new guys that it works on.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. And was that how long? So did you have to? That was like a CB school. There was training, or
yeah. So I had to go through like initial officer school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't need to go to because it was basically people who had never been in the military. So here's how to put on your uniform. Here's how to.
Oh fuck!
I'm like, this is not.
How long was that?
I think I only had to go to a couple weeks.
That's not
it
too
was
bad.
out in Rhode Island. I mean, yeah, it was. I gained 0 out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you have to go through like Seacoast Civil Engineer Corps Officer School, which is like your initial. This is what you do in the Civil Engineer Corps. So that's the Seabee stuff. That's the maintenance stuff. That's the shipyard stuff. That's the the base public works guys. So the Seabee officers do all that stuff. They're not just in Seabee battalions.
Okay.
Right? They're if you go to any Marine Corps or Navy base, there's a public works guy and there's a Civil Engineer Corps
Sure.
officer that's in charge of that. So they do all the base infrastructure, that kind of crap. So, but in the reserves, so I was in the reserves still at this time, and I got my commission in the reserves. You have to go to a battalion or a regiment or something where you can get your pin.
Okay.
Your CB combat warfare pin. So I couldn't go to like Quantico and be the public works guy. I had to go to a battalion or a whatever to get until you get your pin, then you can go do other things.
Wherever, right? Okay.
Right. So I was assigned to NMCB 25, Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 25 out of Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. At the time, they're in Port Hueneme now. And then I was put as officer in charge of a detachment in Great Lakes. So I think I had like, at the time, I had like 120 enlisted Seabees.
Mm-hmm.
Junior up through, there was two officers, handful of chiefs, and then on down of 120 guys in that detachment. And then, then I had to go, the rest of your, operations school and all these other, here's how you be a CB officer, whatever. And it was fun. I mean, it wasn't anything big deal. And then then you do the play army stuff. You go live in the field and live in a mud hole and that stuff.
Yeah, and then you're in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, well, there's that.
How long before that first deployment?
Let's see, 2 years.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, because I got my lieutenant junior grade or first lieutenant in your talk when we were doing our pre-deployment field training exercise in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that day too, because I had my proud buttered bar on, right? And I had got my CB pin at this time, so that was cool. I was cool. I was a cool kid.
Yeah, you're in the club now.
I was in the club. Yeah. And we walked up to the morning staff meeting or whatever, and it's like, oh, hey, you get promoted today. And our commanding officer time took a Sharpie, colored my there.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Because we're on the field.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, unceremonious promotion.
Colors in my tab. And
that's rad.
All right, I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, then we deployed out of Gulfport, Mississippi.
So, and this is one of those things like, and we'll get into you and I, meeting up because it was hilarious and very cool, very unique. But like I have this, once again, I have this movie playing in my head about what Seabees do. Like, oh, they do Seabee shit.
Watch John Wayne and the Fighting Seabees.
Right,
Right?
But I'm like, what, come to think about it, I'm like, you go over, like we meet up in Afghanistan before we even met up. What the hell was it? Was it camp? God, what the hell was the name of it? It was out on J-Bad Road. The first time where we took the picture together.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah, Camp Phoenix. Like, so are they just maintain? This is going to be an elementary, dipshit question, but they're just CBing the entire 6 months? They're just building stuff, keeping.
Yeah, and a lot of that when we were there, because it was a lot of it. That was kind of at the end. That was in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So our battalion was the last full battalion that went to Afghanistan. Then they still sent people. I mean, obviously they still send people, but well, not anymore. But.
And didn't you send me an email? How did you initially get in contact with me?
Well, okay, so I was like the weapons officer, and I had to do some of this nonsense staff stuff, and I was like the afternoon evening shift watch officer in the TOC, I think they call it, the Tactical Operations Center.
Tactical Operations Center, yeah.
Right, and I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot going on usually in the evenings because most of our stuff was during the day when you could see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just sitting there watching the drone footage and answering the radio or whatever. It was me and there was one officer and one enlisted dude. We were basically just radio comm guy and people checking in and doing whatever. So you're pretty much bored, right? Just bullshitting with the dude that's sitting there with
There's a lot of boredom.
Yeah.
If people don't, if you haven't been in, like, there's a lot of boredom.
A lot of sitting around. And, yeah. I mean, and again, we weren't like running trucks or people weren't going places and moving around or whatever. So I mean, it was 10 o'clock at night or something on a Tuesday. We're just sitting there, not really much going on, not much happening, and we had internet stuff. So I'm like, I think Dagan's over here. Man, I sent him an email.
Yeah.
Let me fire one of these up. I'm like, hey pal, where you at? Oh yeah, I'm down the road. I'm like, oh no shit. Why don't you wheel on over sometime?
Mm-hmm. I got some cigars. Yeah. That was awesome. That was cool. It was neat. You know what I mean? Like coming from, such a small hometown, growing up together, and then linking up over and, just outside of Kabul, Afghanistan. It was pretty
wild. Like this is a dude I went to kindergarten with.
Right.
It's like, now we're in the middle of the shithole here.
Yeah.
This is
shithole actual.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. This is kind of neat. What do you want to do? I don't know. Want to smoke some cigars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds good.
It was cool. And then
let's do that.
And then we did that a couple times. Where the second time, was that the same deployment or did you have two?
No, that was the same one.
Because it was a different location.
Yeah, we had moved into downtown Kabul at the time because they were drilling a water well there and some other stuff. But they had closed down Camp Phoenix. That's why.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why they had shut that base or the camp down so that everyone moved out.
That J-Bad, or we called it J-Bad Road, that road was spicy, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we obviously had a lot of freedom of movement. I could just grab keys and go around,
Jump in your Hilux and roll.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, J-Bad Road was always a little bit of a nail biter, I'm like, this will be when I buy it. This will be it. I'm going over to do cigars with a high school buddy.
Blows my wheels off.
Right, no shit.
Well, yeah, I think the first time you came over, that's my daughter was born.
Yeah, that's right.
So I had a it's a girl's cigar.
We had celebratory cigars, yeah.
It's a girl's cigars.
Yeah. And then we got that picture, hippies use the back door.
I still got that.
Yeah, I still got it too. It's in my,
I got the sign. I took the sign off the building before they tore it down.
Yeah.
I get that. Yes.
It was neat, dude. It was fun. I enjoyed that, but yeah, it was like, fucking Rick's just down the road. I was, what do you need, buddy? What do you need? I got it.
Yeah. Hook a brother up.
Yeah, for sure. What was kind of some of the highlights of that deployment? Was there anything pretty standard?
Yeah, I mean they were like train, advise, assist. They were trying to teach the Afghanis how to build things, and I mean a lot of it was like reconciliation of stuff, because we had been there for what 15 years at that time. I mean, so there was, just shit everywhere.
Right.
And then plus we had all the Navy, all the Seabee battalion, that were there before. They'd bring all their crap and leave it. So, I was the weapons guy, so we were getting all the Connex boxes full of just parts and pieces and, anything you can think of. Any of the real weapon stuff we kept, but like, the lasers and the sights and I bet I ground up 1,000 ACOGs.
Yeah.
Because I was, they're like, oh, just dispose them. We're not going to send them home. Run them through the grinder.
Dude.
And then I got to sign off on the bottom. Like, yep, these serial numbers went through the.
In the Marine in me, it's just gut wrenching. When I hear that, I'm like, oh god.
Oh, yeah, they just so much stuff.
Like don't destroy it. Yeah, you never know, we might need it.
Yeah, oh god.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Just parts. I can't remember how many millions of dollars of stuff I had to sign off on.
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, and you at your level, being an officer, you like. In my experiences, in the military, and then obviously much more in my post-military, service, if you will, like the amount of money that
it's nuts.
Just let's burn it to see what color it turns. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's so fucking nuts. The amount of money, that's a rounding error. That's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like even considered. It's hard to conceptualize the amount of money. Like you can hear the number, but you don't really know what that means. Yeah, that's nuts, dude. And just wreck it, like you said. It's cheap. It's cheaper to destroy it. Look at what they did when we left. We don't need to go there. Yeah, we don't need to go there at all. Yeah, let's turn this into a 10-hour bitch session. But it's insane. It's insane, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you had the one deployment, and then. Not just regular stateside stuff after that, and just kind of finished it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So after I stayed with the battalion for another. I think I did 7 years total, 12 to 17 or 18. And then I went to Amphibious Construction Battalion, which are the guys at 2, which is now decommissioned. They would do the elevated causeways and build the piers and stuff for doing ship-to-shore transfers and stuff. Worked a lot with the Army and the Marines doing that crap, which was actually kind of fun. You know, they'd run the flat tops out and dock onto the back of a big cargo ship and unload trucks and run them on the beach, you know, and build the piers and stuff. It was fun.
Okay.
Interesting, I guess.
What's go ahead, sorry.
I mean, we just did a couple, nothing real world. Well, you heard when they tried to do it there in
outside of Gaza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't go well.
Nope.
But that was the crap that I used to do was that, and then the Army was doing it, I think.
So from your optic, were you able to glean enough out of that where you're like, I know what they did wrong?
Not really. I mean,
you'd had to be there.
Yeah, I'm sure you had to be there. I mean, well, a lot of it because that was a floating pier too, right? And I think the weather kind of took its toll on that baby from what I saw.
And then, of course, having no concept of how that's done, I look at that and still go, that doesn't surprise me. Even though I have no idea what I'm talking about. You know, like you can't even make it float. Yeah. Like, what's the problem? Yeah. You know, right. Which is a dipshit thing for me to say because you don't have the first fucking clue how that's done, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I did a couple years with ACB 2. And then actually I wanted to stay because I liked what I was doing. I liked the job I had there. And, I said, hey, put me in for, a 3-year extension or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a civilian that was I can't remember what her title was, the operational support officer, I think OSO. But they did all the admin and all the orders and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yeah, put me in for a 3-year extension. Well, so I get a phone call from some random commander. I think he was from Kentucky because he had a pretty good accent, and he was cool. He's like, "Hey man, you don't have a billet and you didn't apply for anything. So what do you think you're gonna do there?" I'm like, "No, I wanted to stay with ACB 2." And he's like, "Well, that didn't happen, and you missed the window." Like,
no kidding.
Now, oh no, now we're gonna get the needs of the Navy.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's never good.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So what happened was this lady had transferred and never filed my shit. So I thought it was all good. Not good. Anyway, so then I'm like, well, what's available before you volunteer me for whatever it is that you think I need to go do? And he's like, well, we got this and we got a couple other spots. I'm like, and he had one with the active duty Naval Construction Regiment, 22 NCR. Out of Gulfport, Mississippi, as a reserve augment staff or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's better than my other options. I guess we'll do that. And then I did my last 3 years down there in Gulfport, just doing, they're all, regiment is just command and control type stuff, and not really anything. They tell people where to go and do what to do and whatever.
That makes sense.
I didn't really like that.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes, well, did you find that throughout, because that, needs of the Navy comment made me think like, it's like, for me, I'll talk from personal experience. Like my first 7 to 8 years, in the Marine Corps, it kind of like, I got what I wanted. It went my way. You know what I mean? And then like the 9, 10, 11, and
things starting to go sideways.
Things started, to like needs of the Corps. I'm not, Dagan's not getting his way, and that pisses him off. Like, was that your first instance of maybe not getting your way?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I never really had any bad experiences with that sort of thing. I mean, there was obviously shit you didn't like doing, but nothing that was, like, screw this, I'm done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the worst thing that ever happened to me, and it's not even, I don't even want to say worst is the wrong word. Like, when I got stationed at Okinawa, when I got orders to Okinawa, it was almost like a punishment.
Like here's a slap in the dick.
Yeah, and not in the sense of like that being over there is bad. It's not. 3rd Recon Battalion Okinawa is awesome or whatever. It was just like it was more of a personal thing. Like you're gonna spend. We're gonna do you a solid. We're gonna send you to Okinawa for 2 years without your family. Like,
sweet.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever. But you make the best of it. And I had a good time over there. The Marines were fantastic. But it was definitely, I would not have picked it. You know what I mean? Sure. Like I would not have been like, please send me there.
Sign me up for a 2-year unaccompanied to
Okinawa. No.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a better way to frame the question. Like, was that the first time that you were kind of doing?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, when I got commissioned, I mean, you really didn't have much choice. They basically just assigned you to the battalion that was closest to your home of record, the closest place it had. So, I mean, I knew that's where I was going when I first commissioned and stuff. So that wasn't a big deal. Funny you mentioned Okinawa. This would have been about 2001. You were on a float over there.
Yep.
We pulled our submarine pulled in next to you, and I remember I got up off the boat and. But I can't remember what ship you were on, but it was tied up. Some big ass gray thing. I don't know.
The Essex.
Yeah. Some big gray thing. I've never been on one. You know, so I stroll over there and I'm like,
completely forgot about that.
Walk up on there. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a Marine named Dagan. We don't know him.
Yeah. Wait. Who?
Do you know any Marines?
Yeah.
Can I find a Marine around here? I think they're over there somewhere. I don't know.
Sure.
And I went down and talked to some dudes. Like, oh yeah, he's on. Or you're at the bar or something. Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
You were.
What year was that?
I think 01 or 02 maybe.
Yeah, that was. I completely forgot about that.
So it could have ran into you in Okinawa too, but
yeah, because we
weren't too far apart.
We found post analysis, we found out we were kind of walking around in the same AO.
And this was like, again, this is pre-cell phone time. I think it was email or something maybe, or
probably.
But I think maybe it was an email or something. I remember you saying you were going to be over there. I'm like, oh shit. Or I remember you said what ship you were on or something, and I'm like, we pulled in next. I'm like, I wonder if that's Dagan's ship.
It sure was. Yeah, the Essex, dude.
Yeah. When I there walked around, I'm like,
where are the snipers at?
Yeah. Where these dudes hang out?
Yeah.
I say hi to my buddy.
I had that was a crazy deployment in the sense of, I basically. We went rogue on a training operation. When I say we went rogue, it's I won't bore you with the details, but basically we went out on our own for 8 days, and
this is in Okinawa, or this is on the boat.
This was in Australia.
Oh,
we were doing a training mission in Australia, and basically things didn't go as planned, and there wasn't a good plan to begin with, and blah 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 blah. But that was both times I was on the Essex were not without some incidents.
You'll have that in the bigger operations.
When keeping it real goes wrong, Right. It was the Essex. Both of my deployments were on the Essex, which, and like you said, like ship life is.
No thanks.
I don't. You kind of got to be a different human.
It's probably worse too. I mean, what do you guys do?
Nothing. Right. I mean, you try. You fantail shoots, right. And there's a lot of speed. You read. You know what I mean. You try.
But the guys on the ship are doing their.
They're
job.
doing.
You guys are just along for the ride.
And kind of in the way. Yeah. There's always that. There's always kind of the ribbing back and forth. Sure. And. It's we're definitely guests, and and they let you know it all the time, right? But yeah, I can remember my first time being on ship. Like, it doesn't take very long for that sparkle to fade, and I'm like, who in the fuck does this for a living? This is awful, And granted, I would assume that the Marine berthing, it's like the difference between like the first time I was ever on a merchant marine ship.
Oh yeah, night and day.
Night and day, right? I mean, it's okay. This is doable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's at least doors on the shitter. You know what I mean? Versus the marine. Yeah, versus
that's a nice feature.
Yeah, versus the marine berthing where it's Spartan to say the least.
Sure.
Well, they don't want you getting too happy. They need to keep you in a bad mood.
That's right.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, but. Yeah, man. Yeah, we've crossed paths more than a few times, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. That's very cool. I mean, how many people get to say that? Like I said, I remember my brother and my sister on their first, second, I can't remember Iraq deployments. They ran into each other.
I remember that. I've seen those pictures.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, right?
Like, hey, that's my sister.
Yeah, and we're on Iraq. Yeah. Very, very cool. Well, geez, man. I mean, if you had to sum it up, like. Highlight of the highlight, what was your highlight of the 26 years? Like the most fulfilling, you're like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like the crowning moment.
I don't know if there's anything. I mean, the ones that you remember when you get your pin for whatever thing,
sure.
Right? You get your submarine pin. It's like, okay, I'm not, now I'm qualified. I'm not you got something on your uniform now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you graduated high school, remember he was a hull technician. He was he was a hard hat diver, big bastard, and he pinned my thing on. I'm like, that's pretty cool. You know, he's like, congratulations, slams it on my chest.
Yeah, sure.
Look, I got something else on my shirt. Look how cool I am.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants to collect the candy, right? Yeah.
And, and then same thing. Like, I guess if you want my commissioning story, this is kind of funny. So I had to get a conditional release letter from Deep Submarines to get commissioned, meaning end my contract early. So the CO had to sign off, said, yes, you have a 90-day window to get this crap done. And so I got selected, or passed the board, or however they pick us idiots. And they said, hey, you've been selected, so you got to do another physical and all this other bullshit to actually get commissioned. I'm like, well, I'm already in the damn Navy. It's like, no, you got to do all this crap, eye exams and all this.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go through everything. Basically, go through all the crap you had to do when you went into MEPS. Same crap. Just to I already did all this stuff. Now you got to do it again. So I got all that crap done, and then you have to have. Now they're waiting on Congress to sign some piece of paper that says, yes, we're going to commission you in the Navy. And I had like 3 days left on my conditional release window. And I was at work, and there was a dude I worked with. He was a retired submarine commander. And the recruiter's like, hey, you got to drive into Chicago like today or tomorrow and get all this stuff done. I'm like, because you have to have an officer commission you, like solemnly swear or whatever. And I said, well, I know a dude that's a retired officer. Can he do it? He's like, oh, yeah, sure. He sent me all the papers. I walked upstairs, and I said, hey, Ron, you want to commission me? He's like, sure.
No shit.
Signs the papers off.
No, you're kidding.
Did it work?
Oh, my gosh.
Very ceremonious.
Yeah. Why, of course not. Why, yeah, of course that's how it was.
You're commissioned. You want to do anything? I don't know. I'll take a picture, I guess. I don't know.
No shit. Yeah.
Wasn't even uniform, nothing.
Wow. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. It just, of course. Yeah, of course.
It's like whatever. And then, when I made chief, that was kind of cool. Because my brother, who was a sergeant first class at the time, he came back and actually pinned my anchors on.
Oh, that's rad.
So that was kind of neat.
Yeah, I got to. Danielle, my sister, I think it was corporal. It was corporal or sergeant. I think it was corporal. I drove down and pinned her.
Put her stripes on.
Yeah, I put them in like we put them in, and I saw her CO or lieutenant get kind of, eyes got kind of wide because I gave her the old double hammer fist. Yeah,
Enjoy.
But whatever, I wasn't going to waste that opportunity.
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah, man. Well, 26 years is a long time, dude. You know what I mean? It's
like everyone says, fast.
Yeah, and you covered it's such a wide berth.
And I guess that's kind of the thing. I wasn't just one thing.
You did a lot.
Yeah. Well, I never got to fly. Maybe I should have been a pilot. I don't know.
There's still time.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, you just got to go over to. Yeah. We both know a guy. He'll take you.
Yeah,
He'll take you up. He'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, is there anything else that anything you want to shout out to or anything? Man, like I said, I really appreciate you coming on. That was very, very interesting.
Never done this. If I sound like a retard, that's it's.
Well, I'm here, so
long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah. I'm here, so you're safe.
Right. I'm in my safe space.
Yeah. Well, like I said, thanks for coming on, and we'll do it again sometime here real soon, and let's take you to lunch.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Stay mobile.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right.